Okay, welcome to video number 3 in our plugin series. We're moving through these. The next plugin that we are going to be working with is something called Twitter Tools. And for this, I'm going to actually go ahead and install it. So you're going to get to see how that works. I'm going to go ahead and click the Add New button. And I'm going to search for Twitter Tools. And there it is right at the top. And you'll see there's a link to install now, which I'll click. I'm going to activate the plugin. And once again, I can now see Twitter Tools is active and I have a settings link. In addition, there's a link to that same page under my settings tab. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. Now Twitter Tools, just like Akismet, uses an API key. So in order to get Twitter Tools up and running, you have to set up an account with Twitter that basically gives your WordPress blog permission to interface with Twitter. So I'm going to click on that account information. Oh, you know what? I had already set this up once before. I'm going to disconnect my old information. And now this is what you should be seeing, this page with Twitter Tools options. Before you even are given the options of how to use Twitter Tools, you've got to set this up. And luckily, these instructions will walk you right through how to do that successfully. So let me go ahead and click this first link on Twitter to go to Twitter's app registration page. That's going to open a new tab. And it's going to ask me to sign in with my Twitter account, basically the Twitter account that I want to interface with my blog. I need to give it a name, so I'm going to call it Clarissa the Blog, a new site about the novel Clarissa. And under website, I need to put the URL of my site, and that's also going to be my callback URL. All of this is outlined in these steps that are listed under step 1, in this information in step 1. So make sure you read that information. I need to agree to the developer rules of the road, and then I need to fill out this little CAPTCHA to prove that I'm a human being. And that's going to create my application interface. So here I have set up an account for Clarissa the Blog. You'll see I have what are called a consumer key as well as a consumer secret, both of which I'm going to need. And the other thing I need to do is go to my settings page, and I need to change my application type to read and write as opposed to just read only. That basically means not only can I read my Twitter account from my WordPress blog, but I can also write to it. I'm going to go back to my Details tab, and I need to create an access token as well. There's a lot of little codes you need to get in order to get all of this working. And now I've got them all. The first thing I'm going to do is copy my consumer key, just that code. I'm going to go back to my options page, and under my consumer key, I will put that code. I'm going to copy my consumer secret. I'm going to copy my access token. And I'm going to copy my access token secret. And I'm going to click Connect to Twitter. Yay, we connected with Twitter. That means that it's working. And then I just get to choose the options that I want. You can choose whether or not you want to have a tweet written every time you post to your blog and what you want that tweet to say. You can set it on by default, which I do. If you want, you can actually have a blog post created from your tweets, but that's up to you. That's probably not very useful for DS106. It might be for some other applications of WordPress. And if you want to have tweets show up in your sidebar, you can choose how many. So I'm going to say I want to put 5 tweets in my sidebar, and I'm going to update my Twitter Tools options. So let's see if this worked. I'm going to go ahead and add a new post. And you will see if I scroll down on the right, I now have a new box labeled Twitter Tools, and by default, yes is checked out to send this post to Twitter. So I'm going to go ahead and publish that. And now I'm going to go to Twitter. And look right there at the very top, a post from me with a link to my new blog post. And the other thing I can do, if I go to Appearance and Widgets, I have a Twitter Tools widget, which I had actually dragged in here yesterday. I'll show you, just drag that over to your sidebar. You can give it a title, save it. And if I go to my site and refresh it, sure enough, there are my last 5 tweets. So that is how you set up and use Twitter Tools.